we on Cole Kmet here?
Yeah, we're gonna go on to Cole Kmet versus Georgia.
Yeah, so Cole Kmet, like we said, for Notre Dame, came in a little bit bigger than we actually thought he was at 6'5" 3/4", 262 pounds. Kind of surprised he's even in this draft class, which I actually think this is great news for dynasty players, where he said he was going back to Notre Dame. And then all of a sudden he got word from the draft advisory board. And he's like, nope, I'm coming out.
That was really good balance for him to break that tackle and then stay on his feet in that first one.
Yeah. Two good catches here.
Comes across the field.
Definitely
gets flat, which is good.
Better athlete than we just watched.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about a two-sport athlete. He actually played baseball and football for Notre Dame his freshman year, got 8 saves as a pitcher. So he is an athlete. And he's a hands catcher, too, is what I think we're going to see. He catches the ball well. Look at that there.
Nice body catch there.
Just
as soon as you say it.
You can go back and watch this one.
But look at the route. Watch it again. It does catch his body, but look.
Yeah.
He catches, he goes.
Well, one thing that if you want to go back to an error I think a lot of young guys make here is when they run routes, they're always looking at the quarterback. He waits till he clears, then his hand gets around.
Yes.
That's that's some really good instincts in knowing when the ball might be coming.
He's a hoss, man.
That's a nice gauntlet right there. Little gauntlet trainer.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Cam Akers? Where do you guys have him?
Edwards-Helaire.
Edwards-Helaire. Thank
you. That's a triple crown right there.
I am
not a Cam Akers fan.
Third right now, actually.
And I like Cam Akers.
Me too. J. Mike said he missed the Thad Moss portion. Do you see his size being a limiting factor at the NFL level?
I think his athleticism is what's going to be his limiting factor at the NFL level. So if you missed the Thaddeus Moss portion, like what we just saw there on that last play, we saw it of Cole Kmet, how he, like Nick said, he turned right at the right time, caught the ball, and kept going here. That's not even in Moss's repertoire. He's catching the ball. There's already something on him because he doesn't have the speed or athleticism to even get that kind of separation.
Yeah, and I think his overall size will be a bit of a factor just because he doesn't really have that length either that you'd like to see in your tight end.
Go back. Come on, Cole. I know this is blocking. People don't care about it as much, but he gets out here to find the guy in space, and then the guy hesitates, so he hesitates.
Yeah, it's not his strong suit at all.
Next play here.
Okay, I'll let it run.
Yeah, Cole.
Like right here, this guy hesitates. He stops his feet, and then the guy gets outside of him where the play's designed.
He should be attacking. He should be attacking there.
Sorry, that's the
he's
coach.
Definitely a pass catching tight end.
Oh, yeah. Even here, man. Look,
I like that. So, Cole Kmet is so far my early runner as my tight end 1 on the year.
Man, that's a bad blocking right there.
Yeah, it is. It's terrible.
Yeah, it just spins them.
There's one place you can't get beat when you're blocking, and it's inside. Right. Don't get beat inside. You got beat inside by a little guy.
So
the one thing that I'm worried about
is his first big year here.
Is he going to be not physical enough even running routes here? Is he going to be out physical by these NFL guys? That's weird with his size. How much did he weigh, Rich? You said he weighed in taller, or
he came in at 262, I think. Yeah, 262 he weighed in.
Come on, Cole.
I think Nick. I just don't think he. I think he just needs to be coached up a little bit more. Because what I think too. I mean, with that size, I think he can grow into that frame a little bit more too. Like he's going to get bigger.
I mean, go back. He just gets juked out of this DB right here. Like,
yeah, he rips right under him.
That's bad. That's bad. That's not like, just a poor play. Like we're what, a quarter into this game? Oh. It's a good adjustment to a poorly thrown ball. I'll give him that. Even though I fumbled it.
Yeah, I'd like to see a couple of the other tight ends versus him.
One thing I've noticed with him, I know he fumbled that one, but when he catches the ball, he carries it low. He doesn't go high and tight. It's pretty low.
Kind of like a loaf of bread.
Mm-hmm. So one thing to kind of see if that maintains over the next game and a half here.
Get him off you, man.
Yeah, the tight end class isn't going to be the strongest suit of this 2020 class when we look back on it. But there's a couple guys in here like Hunter Bryant and Cole Kmet that let's see where they go. There we go.
That wasn't him. Or let's talk about the blocking.
Yeah.
Which was.
Okay, you got a little push.
Okay.
Oh, look at that catch.
Give me that.
Look, off the block.
Well, the coolest part about this one is he gets his head around.
Yeah.
That's a good, big reaction. He barely sees the quarterback. He looks right now and catches it. It wasn't even designed to him, I don't think.
That was almost one-handed.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was thrown to Tony Jones Jr. there.
He's smooth. He's a smooth athlete.
Yeah, so Rayman says he won't initiate contact and blocking. He seems like he's catching defenders. I agree. There's an attitude. He just, if you watch T.J. Hawkins and you watch him, they're about polar opposites.
About to get smacked here.
Yeah.
I mean, look how much smoother he is off the line than Thaddeus Moss.
Yeah, for sure. He gets off way quicker. Nice job of hanging on the ball here, though. I thought.
Yeah, hit the seam there. Look at that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. One thing so far, you watch him, he's been lined up inland tight end and in the slot, which is good with versatility as well.
Yeah, I would like to see him get in a position to be a nice big slot wide receiver, where his blocking isn't his strong suit. But if we can get him lined up in the slot a lot, that'd be really nice for fantasy purposes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're hoping for him here.
Yeah, so far some nice catches tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Versus Alabama too, or Georgia. So.
Yeah, good opponent. Not great quality of the film here. Sorry about that, but
yeah, this is not 4K. This is 1.2K.
Yeah, it's about 680.
That was an okay block, but it's like, I mean, it's a DB. You should do that.
Jared recorded this on his Motorola Razr.
Bro, this is a Garrett film. Anytime it's bad film, it's a Garrett film.
Man, Razr. Man, I was so pumped when I got my Razr back in the day.
I never had a Razr.
I can always tell when we were watching one of Brian Shekokis's films because it's like crispy as hell, 4K.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, we had a big nerds meeting, and Garrett's like, "I wouldn't mind getting a new computer here to get some get my film looking a lot better." It's like, now after watching this, I'm like, "Hell yeah, dude!"
What do you think about this one here, Nick?
Is that all I have to say, Rich, to get a new computer?
Usually, yeah, a lot of times, yeah.
Man, if I just had a better computer, I'm telling you, my film watching.
Garrett does a lot for the site.
Someone said looked like Kyle Rudolph. Honestly, in terms of athleticism, he's a lot more of a Rudolph than he is like Tyler Eifert. If we wanted to just do Notre Dame guys, he's not going to be an Evan Ingram. He's like that. He's an above average athlete at tight end, but he's not an elite athlete at the tight end.
Yeah, and I think Rudolph was a much better prospect coming out.
Well, Rudolph was better. Yeah, I'm just saying that's the area.
Yeah, right. I agree.
Irv Smith's a better athlete.
What a massive disappointment that came in at fantasy purposes. His best game was his in Pro Bowl in his second year.
Remember when he was like tight end 2 to 4 for so long in Dynasty?
Oh, I never loved Rudolph though. To be fair,
no,
I did like Tyler Eifert a lot.
Good job of
Eifert's route running was insane.
Yeah, I really liked
those
Eifert.
Injuries, man. I tell you, worst part of this game.
Yeah, it's just definitely for him because a lot of his injuries, he never had the same injury. It's just always a different injury. Just bad luck, man.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell he's just not comfortable blocking, man. It's
no. Look at that. He missed a cut block on a deep. He's just what are you doing, man? It's a linebacker.
He's still figuring it out. You can tell. There's a lot of little
he's
things.
He's 6'5", 260. He's playing like he's 6 foot 210.
Yeah. This was his first year with really any significant playing time.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big thing we got to remember here too. This is, he might as well be a freshman here.
He's definitely a project.
Yeah.
But a project that can be utilized for fantasy purposes. So
he has tools.
We're asking him to get better for non-fantasy purposes. I mean, look at this right here, another big play.
Well, here he adjusts, thrown outside, turns his body around. I'll give him that.
That's tough.
Yeah.
So he's thrown some good body control. You can just see that.
Lowered his shoulder there a little bit. Took a hit, had 3 defenders on him, still standing.
So he clears the defender, gets his head around. Mm-hmm.
Would you say Kmet is like Gesicki in his athleticism, blocking, and style of play?
Man, Gesicki was a hell of an athlete, man.
Yeah, he was an elite level athlete.
Yeah. Now blocking.
His spark score is through the roof.
Gesicki wasn't a good blocker either. I'll give him that. So.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I can see what he's saying.
For a Gesicki comparison, Kmet's gonna be one of those guys where, you're probably gonna have to wait a couple years here, 2-3 years, till you're really gonna be getting him on your dynasty roster on a daily basis.
So here's a question: How important is hand size for pass catchers for you guys? By the way, love your film breakdowns. Appreciate that, Danny T. Hand size does not matter much to me at all because you can have good hand size and not be a good pass catcher. You can have small hands and be a great pass catcher. It's about technique, I think hand strength, and I think your hand-eye coordination, honestly, more than it is how big your hands are.
Yeah, I mean, look at those a good comparison for there, Nick, is Hunter Renfrow. I mean, that guy's got small hands. He's got really small hands, but he catches everything.
Tyreek Hill has, what, 8-inch hands, I think I heard?
I don't think it's anything crazy.
He's doing fine. He body catches more than anything, but doesn't drop them. That's a good route right there. I like that one.
Go back. My bad. Just adjusting the
No,
volume.
it's okay. I think it was maybe a little bit of a zone here, but he presses up to his... That wasn't, sorry, it's one before. Must have went back 2 plays. They're right here. Yep. Nope. Next one.
All right. Yeah.
Doesn't block a
He's
single. Didn't touch
Right
a
here.
single player. Didn't touch a single player there.
He just blends in. So right here, goes up and then
Yeah.
breaks out because he sees that it's man. And that's good.
Yeah, that was no
That's
wasted.
good athletic. I mean, you think for a big guy, hips, making that turn, that's pretty good.
Yeah. He didn't roll into it. Like, yeah, he planned it in turn, yeah.
I think Kmet definitely has some
Oh, look at that double team. He finally got movement.
fantasy
Double
upside, but is going to be a 2 to 3 year guy like most.
Yeah,
most
but
of the
I'm
times.
okay with it. I'm okay with that. Like, so many people are drafted and they're thinking to get, the George Kittle or the Rob Gronkowski or somebody's going to come in and contribute right away. For the most part, when you get a tight end, you have to wait 2 to 3 year windows. Nick, from a coaching aspect, that's what I want to ask. Why do you think out of all the positions that the tight end position is the one that takes 2, 3 years every single time?
I think it's because they are the most unique player on the field. They have to be good at blocking and at catching. So they have so much more to learn, in my opinion, than a receiver. Think a receiver. Receiver, it's, they go to all these passing leagues and they run good routes, but like, does blocking really matter for a receiver? If you're a bad blocking receiver, it doesn't matter as much. But in terms of a tight end, you got to be, Moss or Cole Kmet size, and you have to be able to block tight ends, those big outside edge, backers, inside backers, safeties, and you have to run all the routes against all those guys. It's a lot more of a physical game. I think they develop more as
No
well
plays,
as
no plays off.
So I think they're so unique because they have to be so good at 2 different things, I think, before they're going to get a lot of playing time on the field.
Yeah, because if you miss your blocker, you're gonna get benched. Yeah, you're right. So it's just knowing the entire playbook.
Yeah, I mean, think of the Vikings, right? So they draft Irv Smith, right, who I liked coming out, and they still then re-signed Kyle Rudolph for a reason. That's how important I think that development of Smith was going to be, and they knew that.
Just coming through. He's just back off of injury. McDuffie.
Yeah, a lot of people say that tight ends are the best athletes on the team.
Oh, I have so much respect for tight ends. I mean, you watch how much work they got to do. I mean, think of it. Blocking like a tackle basically out there, and then you got to run routes like a receiver. Like,
Every rookie draft I'm in, I make sure I draft a tight end. Every rookie draft I'm in. One, it's a position that usually you get pretty good value on because everybody's chasing those wide receivers and running backs. So you can usually find pretty good value on it, but I'm always looking for that next diamond in the rough. Like last year, like in that Josh Oliver was a nice guy I want to get everywhere I could.
A little sloppy footwork.
I'm
here.
always getting I think like if how I run my dynasty teams, if I can get depth, I always get it at running back and at tight end. We're just like flyers because you never know who's going to develop into that Darren Waller or whoever. Or I trade for him after year 1 or year 2.
Yeah, that's honestly the best bet. Like I said, like going out and getting Gesicki now, you let them develop on somebody else's team. They're frustrated because they've gotten nothing out of them, and they're ready to go out for the next guy, and you get them right away.
Yep.
How about Chase Claypool?
They're having him
I heard
run
he could go to tight end.
Yeah, he's going to be running some tight end drills. And the tight ends, if you guys are watching the combine, they'll be on tomorrow at 4.
I got another one for you guys to watch. Steven Sullivan, LSU, former big-time wide receiver recruit turned tight end who's going to be athletic. Watch out for him as a sleeper.
Have that name again?
Stephen Sullivan.
Oh, I've heard his name a couple times.
From LSU?
The internet first.
Well, that collision.
Ooh. Oh, got a look at that. Push the defender back. Hercules. There we go. Here we go. I mean, I will say him and Thaddeus Moss right now are night and day.
Yes. Yep. That's what it's nice to see when we do these back-to-back. It's kind of what we notice with Rager versus Ruggs.
Ruggs is pretty sweet. Do you
I
guys
had to say that.
Do you guys just like Rager better, or do you just not like Ruggs?
I think they're the same level of athlete, but I think Rager's a better receiver. And probably a little better athlete as far as going up for the ball with ball skills and all that kind of stuff. Like, he gives you a little more as far as a receiver goes.
Just to say to Sullivan real quick, if you guys just want to know how big he is, 6'4" and 7/8", 248, 10 and 1/8 inch hands. He has an 85-inch wingspan. It's a big boy.
Damn.
You said do we like Rager or?
No. If you just didn't like Ruggs at all, because like I said,
no, I do like Ruggs.
When I say I like Ruggs
nice
more than Rager, I still like Rager a lot.
Gosh, that adjusts.
Great catch.
It adjusts well.
That is a really good catch.
It depends on what you mean by like. I mean, like I don't hate the guy. I just don't think I'm ever going to draft him because I think people are going to take him way ahead of where I like him. He was the 4th best receiver, in my opinion, at Alabama last year.
Okay. Yeah,
but Alabama has 4 really good receivers. You know.
I'm gonna dig in a little bit more, but I like Ruggs a lot, man. He's my number 3 receiver.
Thoughts on Will Disley and Dawson Knox ahead of this year? I was recently offered a trade for Disley, but I really like him. His biggest issue is he's been hurt 2 years in a row. But when you can get with Wilson and all those numbers, that's nice for him. But man, I really like Dawson Knox out of college. He flashed this year. Buffalo doesn't have a ton of receiving weapons. He was really kind of unfortunate at Ole Miss. I mean, they had A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf, so he didn't get a ton of play there. Never actually had a receiving touchdown in college, but he flashed definitely in the NFL. So I like that.
This year in Buffalo. Yeah, I like Dawson Knox. I like both those guys to buy. I think it's a good time to buy Will Disley because they just signed Greg Olsen, so people are like, oh no. But reports out of Seattle is they absolutely
Claypool.
And with Dawson Knox, what I really like out of seeing Dawson Knox and how Buffalo used him is they used him all over the field. They used him as a halfback. They used him as a tight end. They used him in the slot. I really like that out of Dawson Knox. I think he's got a really nice high upside for fantasy production going in from like 2020 on. He's gonna be a year 2 producer, not a year 3 producer. I think Dawson Knox is a great buy.
Yeah, and like you said, if there's ever been a buying window for Will Disley, like this is right now is the time.
Depends on how the rehab's going, but yeah, I agree with you.
You can probably get him for nothing.
They said rehab was going good. Said they expect to have him back by camp.
Oh, good.
Maybe not nothing.
Speaking of, as we're talking about tight ends here, do you guys think that right now is the time to buy David Njoku with Jarvis Landry having this surgery?
Being here in Cleveland, Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry really like David Njoku. You got to remember, Andrew Berry's one of the people that drafted David Njoku as well. They've already said they're going to pick up. Andrew Berry said they're going to pick up his 5th-year option, and they anticipate him to be a Cleveland Brown for a long time. So, yeah, I think it's a nice, good buying window for Njoku. Because you got to remember, David Njoku was so raw coming out of Miami that he 100% needed 3 years. And last year was supposed to be his 3rd year, but he missed it because he was hurt. So we don't really know what we have in Njoku. So last year was supposed to be his breakout year. So there's no reason not to think that 2020 is going to be a breakout year.
What was the injury that he had?
He broke his wrist.
Yeah, but didn't he get benched kind of?
Coming back, but who knows?
Yeah, coaching staff was a mess.
Yeah, that coaching staff there's so much internal stuff going on that, I mean, I heard.
Ooh, nice catch by Claypool.
I heard there's a lot of stuff going on that was not good.
Look at
that route by Claypool down here.
Route. Sorry, Rich.
Well, you're good.
Oh,
Yeah.
it sold him
Yeah.
outside and then an extension outside of his frame.
So-
So everybody, we're scouting everybody all at once.
No. Well, here it's
Ian
important.
Book with a ball.
Chase Claypool is probably going to play tight end at the next level. So
Yeah.
that's not bad that we should be like talking about Claypool here too, where
Mm-hmm.
Claypool is going to be the Evan Ingram. You know what I mean? This is going to be the converted wide receiver who is just too big to play wide receiver in the NFL. That's going to go play tight end that you want on your dynasty roster. Definitely if you can run a route like that we just saw by Claypool at the tight end position, that's fantasy gold.
That's a
dropped
good
that.
adjustment.
I think he dropped it.
Did
Called
he
it-
drop
They
this?
called it
Come back.
incomplete.
Oh,
Get
wow.
out of the way there.
But, man, he can really turn his body around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got
Good thing
really
his
good
book
ball
isn't that accurate.
Cole Kmet's real smooth off the line, good body control, catch the ball well.
Yep.
Routes look
He's
good.
a good prospect.
What's she
Yeah.
going to run his 40 in?
4.7.
Yeah, I think he's 4.7, 4.75. But that's okay. People think that's like not athletic. Like
That's
athletic.
good, man. I was never touching those
6'5",
numbers.
260. That's pretty.
Jerry Rice ran a 4.6, people.
Exactly. People put too much emphasis on
And speed.
the treks in the combine.
Yeah, like I don't care like if you can get downfield that quick. No, I mean, no many passes are over 20 yards in the NFL. It's such a limited amount of passes.
They do tangle feet. They're both playing the ball.
You should have caught that, Kmet.
He should have fell down. It'd be tougher, man.
Pull the Gary Barnage, catch it with your feet.
Gary
Oh, Gary Barnage.
Barnage.
Oh, that 1 year, man.
Yeah, Gary Bear.
Dude, he
How
killed
about Jordan Cameron?
Oh,
Yeah.
Jordan Cameron 1 year. Left the
He's always had that 1 year.
it. Miami overpaid him.
Terrell Pryor, that 1 year. Josh Gordon, that 1 year.
1
Too
year.
soon?
Hey,
Yeah,
chill out.
As a Browns fan, I see a lot of upside for 1 year.
Oh, man, dude. Baker Mayfield, that 1 year? Okay, I'm
All
kidding.
right, pipe down. I won't hear that.
I like Baker. He'll rebound, I think. Oh, nice, man.
My guy. Love him.
You know, I was looking at it's crazy. OBJ hasn't had 1,100 yards receiving in a year since like 2016.
Yeah, OBJ needs his good stuff together.
Well, he's got to stay healthy. That's part of it too.
That's huge. Back-to-back years, man.
Yeah, he's been banged up.
Injuries don't get better the older you get.
Braylon Edwards that 1 year. Braylon,
William Green that 1 year.
you guys
Dude,
need to chill out. Peyton Hillis that 1 year.
Dude, 2007, the greatest. That's only good. You gotta imagine. I'm 40 years old. Going back to the old Burn days, that 2007 was my funnest Browns year, and that's all I had. Like literally 1 year. 1 year.
Rich, I'm going to tell you this, okay? There was one quarterback that I liked that just, there was a game, and after that, he earned all my respects playing hurt. Kelly Holcomb. Remember that one? Going to Kevin Johnson,
Yeah, I
Quincy
remember.
Morgan. He led a comeback. I was like, man, this guy's
North
gritty.
guy.
Dude, I never liked Kelly Holcomb because he took the job away from Tim Couch, and I was a big
Yeah.
Tim Couch fan.
Yeah. Man,
What about that Kelly Holcomb playoff game where he threw for like 500 yards and the Browns still lost?
I know. I think that's probably the game I was watching.
Steelers, yeah.
Oh, Tim Couch. That's a sad story.
That's when I was just getting into the Browns. I was like 10
liked
years
Tim
old.
Couch, man.
I was in college.
Ooh.
Almost had that one. Damn.
Almost, man. Good speed out there. I like that catch he had. Kmet had. Look at that. Oh,
I don't know why he's hesitating off the line, though. Just run.
Yeah, I think he was just teasing him.
Yeah, I know, but like, you can tell he's looking at the quarterback. What are you teasing?
I think they set up the defender there. I think that's what he wanted to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
someone said Spurgeon win. Sorry, Rich.
Oh, I hated Spurgeon one.
What about who's the goat herder?
The goat herd?
Oh, never mind. That's Giovanni Camrazzi. That's the 49ers.
Okay.
I was thinking the Brady 6 with
You old
Spurgeon win.
guys.
Hey, you know me, man. I'm always gonna pull some guys out, Jared.
And
I have to make a Rams
Nice,
reference.
nice. Look at that play. Let's do that one again.
Yep, he sold the block.
Yeah, he did. Nice. I like Kmet, man. I really do.
Yeah, but how much do you like him? Because I think it's relative.
I like his upside. I think the position is so shallow. You have to get excited about these guys that have the upside to be potential, top 8 tight ends. You have to try and get those guys where you can, because it's such a shallow spot, and it gives you such an edge over your opponents, because you're like you said, you're either the have or the have-nots. I would love to see a collection of fantasy football championships and look at all those championships and just look at who their tight ends are in every single league, because it gives you that edge over your opponents, man. I mean, one of the first articles I ever wrote for Dynasty Nerds when the site first launched was about the tight end position and how it's so crucial to you to get that player, because it gives you that edge over your opponent. And definitely in Dynasty, where, listen, if your Dynasty league's over 4 years old, those top end teams, they're all really good. So, they all probably have a couple good running backs and a couple good receivers where can you get that edge? And to me, if you have that Travis Kelce, that's where you get your edge over your opponent. So that's what we're all looking for, that really good, not a tight end one, a top 5 tight end.